Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Am I on? Alhamdulillah. So we're going to speak about three main points related to لزوم الجماعة, adhering to the group, لزوم الجماعة, adhering to the group, and then on طبقات الفقهاء, and then on the madhahib and how we know who the fuqaha are and who are the muftun. Because as we said, there's a lot of confusion about these issues. So the first, and we spoke about this on many of these hadith, Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah means what? The people of the Sunnah and the Jama'ah and the group. So the religion is preserved by not individuals, but a group of people. The original group, the companions, and then all of the Muslims that come after. And we're speaking not of the awam, but the scholars, the ulama. So we have, how do we adhere to the group? Sticking to the group. Luzum al-jama'ah. So this is the first discussion. There's different levels that we want to look at when it comes to proof in the religion and following the scholars. The first is consensus. Consensus is agreement of the scholars. In Arabic, it's called ijma'. Ijma'. Al-ijma'. All of the scholars of a particular time agree on something. Ijma'. What is the rule of breaking ijma', breaking the consensus? It is haram. It's prohibited. So if someone breaks scholarly consensus, that is a clear sign that they are misguided. It's wrong. So that is our strongest proof in the Sharia, al-ijma', scholarly consensus. Then there is, let me rearrange this a little bit so we can appreciate that this is in descending order. Then there is, and this is the benefit of the madhahib. You have the relied upon opinion of a school. What kind of opinion? The relied upon opinion. It's called the mu'tamad. Mu'tamad al-madhab. I don't know if I have enough room to write it on this side here, but we'll try. Mu'tamad. Why is this significant? Because mu'tamad al-madhab The relied upon opinion of a madhab is the opinion of who? It's the opinion of an entire group of scholars, jama'ah. So the mu'tamad of a madhab is decided by the scholars of that particular madhab, based on evidence, of course. So it is a collective effort. It's a type of agreement, right? What is ijma'? What is consensus? It's an agreement, but an agreement of who? All the scholars of the ummah. This is al-ijma'. It's an agreement of all the scholars of the ummah. But the mu'tamad of a madhab is the agreement of who? A group of scholars that share in one methodology. Everybody got that? So this is what I call, it's a major ijma', and then this is minor ijma'. It's a minor form of ijma', because it's what? Ittifaq. It's agreements. Okay?
يعني example, the prayer 5 in the day.
Ijma'.
خلاص.
Ijma' al-ummah.
5
Right.
in the day.
Then the mu'tamad of the madhab is different according to
What's that?
what
What's that
madhab.
time?
So after this, and remember these again are in descending order. You have the choice opinions. That's the best translation I could come up with. Choice opinions. In Arabic, they're called ikhtiyarat. Ikhtiyar means choice. So the ikhtiyarat are personal choices, individual choices. So it's different. I'm going to draw a little line here, a little squiggly line to indicate here we're talking about groups. Now we're talking about individuals. All right, so the first type of individual opinion is a choice opinion, an ikhtiyar. So for example, we have in the Shafi'i school is a group of scholars. One of the major scholars who was a Shafi'i, his name was An-Nawawi. An-Nawawi, a major Shafi'i scholar. Later Shafi'is that looked at his works, looked at his opinions, for some of those opinions, they said what? This is not representative of the most correct view. It's not representative. And Nawawi is incorrect according to the principles of the school. Everybody follow me so far? But An-Nawawi is respected. He is respected. So his personal opinions are called ikhtiyarat. But why are the ikhtiyarat acceptable? If I follow one of the ikhtiyarat of An-Nawawi, I can do that. It's permissible. But why?
Because he had proofs and deletes.
Because he had proofs, because he had deletes, yes. And what else? There's one very, very important aspect to that. Not ijma'. He's a type of mujtahid, but we're going to get to that. It's because An-Nawawi, if he does not represent the Shafi'i school on a particular opinion, he agrees with another school. Everybody follow that? So in reality, he's not alone. In reality, he's not alone. So we'll put here in parentheses, agrees, these choice opinions agree with other schools.
So he's still adhering.
He's still adhering to what? The group.
Consensus, yeah.
He's not alone. He just differs from his school.
Let's agree.
Does everybody understand so far? Alhamdulillah. Then we have, after choice opinions, and we're in the realm of individual scholars now. We're not looking at groups. After that, indents here. There is anomalies. How do you spell anomaly?
N-O-M-A-L-I-E-S.
Wait, hold on. I need just one person.
A-N-O-M-A-L-I.
Anomaly, yes. I was going to put an A after the N. Anomaly. An anomaly, mashallah tabarakallah. An anomaly, it's something strange. It's something deviant. Okay? In Arabic, this is called, that type of opinion, it's called shadh. Trying to get my transliteration type. A shadh opinion, an anomalous opinion. Is it allowed to follow something that is shadh? No. No. Why?
Because it doesn't adhere to the group or
Because there's no jama'ah. It's just one person floating out there by themselves. Where's the jama'ah? There is no jama'ah. He's not adhering to the jama'ah. He has a shadh opinion, an anomalous opinion. Okay? So here we have a check in terms of what we can follow. In fact, not only is it a check, it's a super check because it's an obligation to follow ijma'. Here there's also a check. You can follow the mu'tamad of a madhab. Here is also a check, but with this caveat, because he agrees with other schools, not out there by himself. But here it's a big fat X. You cannot follow shudud when it comes to opinions. Here we're particularly talking about fiqh. Right? Is this clear for everybody? What are we doing? Naltazimu jama'ah. These are the forms of adhering to the group. Right? 1, 2, and 3, and an X on number 4 in descending order there. Everybody got this? So that's the first thing we wanted to cover. Luzum al-jama'ah. That is the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has preserved our religion. وكم الساعة؟
21.
21. Okay, so that's point number 1. Luzum al-jama'ah. Then we have the tabaqat of the scholars. We have it on page 21. Ibrahim, you're the only one that has the book, man. you don't have to read, but
I can if you want me to.
we'll see. I'll write these things down, and inshallah, everybody will actually get the book, so you can read this for yourself on page 21. So this particular quote that we translated, we took it from Imam al-Nawawi, from al-Majmu'. There's different levels of fuqaha. This is important for us to understand. There's tabaqat. Tabaqat means generations, literally, levels, and there are maratib, ranks. There's generations and ranks of fuqaha. Not all scholars are created equal. So at the top ranking type of faqih, of mujtahid, because ijtihad, legal scholarship, is at different levels. So the first is the mujtahid mutlaq, also called mujtahid mustaqil. Right, so he's an absolute jurist, an independent jurist. Who does he depend on for his principles? Nobody. He's independent. Mujtahid mustaqil. Mujtahid mutlaq, meaning unrestricted. He's unrestricted.
Isn't he relying on the hadith?
Right.
Okay. So it's
Yes. But how? According to whose principles?
his own.
His principles.
Okay.
All right?
When's the last time we had one of those?
1,200 years ago. Mujtahid mutlaq, that's number one. And then, I don't know if to add this as another number like I did in the note or not. We're going to go with an-Nawawi. So he says number two, but we're going to put him a little bit under a smaller two because he's not really within the mutlaq category, and he's not a muqallid in the same sense as those that come beneath him. So number two is mujtahid muntasib. So this is, we'll put an asterisk here. Muntasib. He is ascribed to another scholar. So who's an example of mujtahid mutlaq? What madhab do I follow? Y'all should know this by now. I'm a Shafi'i.
No,
Who is the imam of the Shafi'i school?
no.
A Shafi'i. This is an example. A Shafi'i. He was a mujtahid mutlaq.
Oh,
Why? Because he laid down principles. And we have the qualifications in the note on page 21. But what about the mujtahid muntasib? For example, for a Shafi'i, al-Buwaiti. Al-Buwaiti was the direct student of a Shafi'i. He literally took his place, sat in his chair when a Shafi'i passed. He literally took his place. Why is he said to be a Shafi'i? Even though in reality, he can do his own ijtihad. Because he agrees with the principles of a Shafi'i. There's no major disagreement between them. So he's considered like a follower. Like a follower. Okay? Then you have the mujtahid madhab. Number three. This is also, you know what, a better phrasing, mujtahid muqayyad. So this is the opposite of the mutlaq, right? He has quyud. He is muqayyad, restricted. You know what, let me do a little translating here. Mutlaq means unrestricted. Muqayyad means restricted. What is he restricted by?
The one before him, right?
He's restricted by the principles of who? The usul of who?
Shafi.
المذهب الشافعي.
Of the mutlaq. Of the mutlaq. That's why it's called muqayyad. He doesn't do ijtihad outside the principles of the imam. But he's capable of ijtihad. But he's following principles that have already been laid down. Right, is that clear for everyone? So we have an example. All my examples are from the Shafi'i school. Al-Qaffal al-Shashi. This is just one example of many. Al-Qaffal الشاشي. In the Shafi'i school, these people are called Ashab al-Wujuh. Ashab al-Wujuh, literally the possessors of faces. Right, their opinions, their authoritative opinions, they're called wujuh, faces, literally. Then we have under him, under the Mujtahid Muqayyad, there is the Mujtahid al-Fatwa. Mujtahid al-Fatwa. And what that means, we'll put in parentheses here, is tarjih. Tarjih literally means to give weight to something. But here it's talking about preference. To prefer one opinion over another. That's called tarjih. At-tarjih. Rajjaha yurajjihu. Tarjihan fahuwa murajjih. He's giving preference to something. What is he giving preference to? So we have an example. An-Nawawi. How many times have y'all heard me mention An-Nawawi? A lot. He's an important person. An example of a Mujtahid al-Fatwa is An-Nawawi. What did An-Nawawi do for the Shafi'i school? Al-Mujtahid al-Mutlaq is a Shafi'i. A Shafi'i has a number of opinions on the same issue where he gave different answers. And it's not known which one is the final answer. The same thing with number 3, the Mujtahid Muqayyad. There's many of them in the Shafi'i school. Who remembers what we said they were called? Ashab al-Wujuh. Ashab al-Wujuh. That's in the Shafi'i school. So, over the centuries, the century or two after Ash-Shafi'i, and this is true for all of the Imams, there are scholars that developed their school, and what happens? They disagree with one another. Al-Ikhtilaf within the school. So, by the time Imam al-Nawawi comes around, it's the 7th century. Imam al-Nawawi died in 676. So we have centuries of disagreements between major scholars. What does Shafi'i, what does An-Nawawi do? Not just An-Nawawi, but also another scholar named Ar-Rafi'i. He looks at all of these differences and weighs them. He does tarjih. So he says, what is correct? What is weak? That's called what? Tarjih. And every madhab has these individuals. We're delaying Salat al-Asr. What time is? Yes, we're delaying Salat al-Asr. So, then we have after that, number 5. This is the lowest ranking faqih, the lowest ranking mujtahid. And that is the naqil. Naqil means transmitter. The transmitter. It's also called, you can also say, Hafiz al-Madhab. Hafiz al-Madhab. That's the lowest level. So at this level, what is the person doing? They have vast knowledge of the school and can relay that to you. That's what they do. But are they actually practicing ijtihad in the same sense as the other four above them? No, they're not. Their job is to transmit. Right? So the fuqaha of today, what is their level? What's the Hijri year? 5. What's the Hijri year?
1446.
1446. 1446, the greatest fuqaha in the world today are on what level?
No.
The lowest, number 5. Does everybody understand the significance of that? They are naqala, they are transmitters. Nobody is on the level of a Nawawi today. And he is right above the last. So, mujtahid muqayyid? No. Mujtahid mutlaq? Forget it. All right, so these are tabaqat al-fuqaha and the maratib. And if we really wanted to get into detail, we could talk about the time period for each one of these, right? Because we always like to put things in a historical perspective. But we're going to stop here, and it's 5:34. How long should we delay Asr? Not long. That's the right answer, Akhir. So we will pray, inshallah, and then come back. And hopefully we'll have that food ready to go.
Exactly.
So.